Okay, snow leopards, sorry for the quick cutoff. I'm trying a new video format. So basically, water is both input and output. So look at how you represent water in your posters, add or make changes as you need to, and add those same changes to letterbox C. So go ahead and pause me now, and then you're going to continue on. Now let's add to our understanding here. We know about the chemical components in our outputs. Let's add this information to our inputs, outputs, and uses diagram. So continue to revise your poster, add in the basic components of our food, CHON, and record your group ideas on the representation on your doodle sheet. And make sure you add questions in if you have any that you're wondering about. Okay, let's look at it a different way. In looking at our inputs and outputs, how are they the same? How are they different? So here is an input. We've got oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, and carbon. We're going to put it in. What's going to come out on the other side? Will it be the same? Will it be different? Will it be rearranged? That's what we got. Is it the same? In some ways, but it's also different, right? So you can look at the arrangement. So we're going back to kind of our laws of matter here. Make sure you do have that law and matter here from your doodle sheet of the conservation of mass. Okay, so we've got matter on one end, we've got matter on the other, and it just simply gets rearranged. All right, now you're going to go to the sticky, slimy case of mucus. What is mucus? Do humans make mucus? You're going to watch a video on Google Classroom about banana slugs and mucus, and then go ahead and grab that reading on banana slugs, which is on the back of your protein worksheet, and read about that for mucus. Now, what did you learn from the video and the reading? Go to your doodle sheet, box in, and record the following three answers. What is mucus made of? Where does mucus come from? And how do we make mucus? So make sure you have those three questions answered in box in. All right, so now that you've got that answered, let's look at it. What is in slime? Slime is mostly mucopolysaccharide and glycoproteins. Can you say that 3 times fast? Mucopolysaccharide, mucopolysaccharide, mucopolysaccharide. These are some big words here, but basically we're just concerned with what makes them up. What are their components? It may say mucopolysaccharide, but what 4 components make it up? Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Let's look at these. Actually, I'll go back really fast. The mucopolysaccharide, just as an FYI, is mostly sugar chains. And then these glycoproteins, they have these short carbon chains. And then you have your main body of protein here, and those are linked amino acids. But you have these short carbon chains coming off here. So you've got 3. But again, let's look at what this complex molecule, what is it actually made of? Its fundamental base, hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, and oxygen. Okay, so again, looking at how these things are, their fundamental elements. So now we have a new thing. This output is not an input. We don't eat slime, and banana slugs don't eat slime. So the slime is made up of the mucopolysaccharide, CHON, and glycoproteins, and other stuff. But they're not eating it. So this is kind of a new concept here. We saw that with the banana slug, it puts out something very different from what it takes in. Is this true for all inputs and outputs? So go back to our class representation or your group representation and doodle box C, and are there any ideas you need to add? Do you have anything coming out that was produced in the body that wasn't put in? Okay, now returning back to this diagram, go back to your poster and think about what other observations can you make. What do you know about inputs and outputs? What is the same? And what is changing? Once you have that done, let's look at what we figured out. What's happening to the matter that we take in? in Doodle Box O, write down our class model idea about what happens to the matter that we take in. So you take it in, the body does something, what happens to it that we're taking it in? All right, so continuing on, hopefully you recognize that your body is taking that stuff in and transforming it. So the average adult, me, I take in 5.5 pounds of food a day. Whew, feels like a lot. Let's look at what happens to that. So if we look at our uses and outputs, in adults, only the tiniest bit of that matter is retained in the body. Most of it just passes on through. So almost all of the matter that comes into our bodies is simply rearranged. Why is that so? What do you think? Why do we transform stuff? So we've recognized that our bodies are matter rearranging machines. But why do we do all of this? Why do we bother rearranging matter? Go ahead and go to Doodle Sheet, to your Doodle Sheet to write down your ideas in box P. Okay, so why do we transform stuff? So talk about it in your group on why we take in so much matter than our bodies need for maintenance and growth. And you're going to be putting that in on Doodle Sheet Q, box Q. So put that idea in there. And really talk about this. Definitely put me on pause. What's going on? Think about our fundamental questions. How do organisms get food? And then how do our bodies use food and energy? How do they transform food and energy for life? So let's think about those things. Put me on pause. All right, the last piece here is it's all about energy. So hopefully you came up with that in your group. So we take in food and that has calories. We know calories are a measure of energy. And let's see if we can now figure out the energy in food. So we know that food gives us matter, but can we figure out the energy in food? We haven't really answered that yet, but this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So see if you can think about how does this relate? All the food you take in, only a small portion of it we actually pull out of it. So what's going on? Okay, so today, hopefully, you looked at the molecular nature of our outputs. What is poop and how is it different than what went in? You completed your doodle sheet M through K. You used your IOU poster and you updated everything. Well done, snow leopards. This is the end of day 4.